my what do you call it? All the lead for my other mechanical pencils. I don't know where they are. I moved them around somewhere and they are gone. I'm just gonna get my beverage. Sorry, I'm just gonna. Coop, how's it going, my friend? Oh yeah, sorry. All arses and elbows. I can't find my cushion. Ugh. So I had an idea. How are you, anyway? I said I had an idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 28. Yeah, I came on a bit later today because I had sort of dinner and stuff to do. I'm going to take my hoodie off because it is so muggy, thunder lightning around here. So I'll just put some music on as well, because my kids terrorising each other again. Yeah, so with the lettering, because this is a graffiti day, it was to basically just make it a bit... Oh, sugar, has nearly tilt that over. Bit more shape oriented. I don't know how the word would be for that. So there's a graffiti artist called DRMLZ who I really like, and he kind of does basic oriented. Yeah, his art looks kind of basic in terms of its shape, and it's really effective. So I'm going to try and replicate the style somewhat. Oh, nice. That's what I love to hear. You got any ideas for your next drawing? I don't like that. I don't want it to be symmetrically. Try that. Yeah, it's a tricky skill. I nearly wasn't going to go on today because I'm absolutely shattered, but I just thought, no, just come on a bit later for an hour, hour and a half. Have a chilled one, get some ideas down, see what I can come up with. I might even go more basic than that, but this is just the first kind of rough in. It mainly came from my idea from what I had with the J. No, it wasn't that. It was something different. Yeah, no worries, bud. Oh, excuse me. Back. Do you get some snacks? What candies do you get? Candy. I want that R2. They sound really good. I like a sour raspberry candy. Maybe lower that. No, it used to be somewhat recognisable as an M. Pretty much the same as the other one I drew, isn't it? No. Maybe if see, thought process behind this is like you've got those kind of futuristic A's that are like that, where the and the M like that. You've got where the sort of line for the A's at the bottom. It's maybe a tad better. Like basically, my idea is kind of based on like really simple. Just like you have a J like that. The A kind of like this. The B kind of like that. And then the R. That kind of thing. Like I said, trying to make it a bit more basic. I suppose I have actually done something like this before. I'll try and find it. I'll just show you what I mean. So, like I've tried similar things. That's kind of ish. I don't know if you can even see it, but that's kind of ish what I mean. That was kind of a decent example I did of this. Well, it could be shit. That's probably... So that, I would say, is what I'm thinking about. Basically not having the holes for the letters. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm trying... But I don't know if I'm trying to go too basic or what. But that I really like. Oh, cheers, Coob. See, I need to kind of explore this idea a bit more. Like, I really like... If I work on the readability of this, then I might be able to make something of it. Like, the M's a problem. Like, what I've tried to do here is basically have it as 3 columns, if you like. Is that the right word? Columns? But the problem I have with an M, I've tried to kind of make this bit the middle bit, and I'm not sure if that works. Like, I think every other letter just about works. Just about. But I think the M's a bit of a struggle on that one. But I do like that one. I think I tried to implement a rule, like 3 shapes per letter. Yeah, like I said, I've had a couple of stabs at it. I'm trying to do it all as one solid shape as opposed to multiple shapes like I've done before. I still think I can make this work because I see this and I think I can make that work, but I think maybe it doesn't have to be all over the place. Maybe I can just get it to work like that. But for another day. Yeah, I think that's the kind of look I was going for. Yeah, we'll try and flash something out with this. Could I add something to that J maybe? So the thought I've got with the B is that, emphasising this bit here. No, I don't want to do that. Don't look too bad. Maybe better like that. One second. 1 second. Sorry, I was just trying to find some music. Okay, so got a couple of thingies here. I think what I might try and do, let's try and detail this out a little bit, see what happens. And then could I maybe... like if I can kind of maybe insert the detail to make it look more like an M, so then you kind of get it. And you just kind of have details in and around it. And then I don't know. Like I'm thinking like an 80s vibe. So, you know, like they used to do those, it was like a white background with like those coloured kind of dash lines, triangles, that kind of vibe. I'm trying to show you what I mean, what I've got in mind. So kind of like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking of. This kind of thing. That's kind of sort of what I'm thinking about. Like with there's more sort of dashes in other That's probably the best representation. That. So with the triangles and dashes and things, that's kind of the image I've got in my head. Oh, thank you. No. Mm. It's a bit better. A bit better in it. So they're just ideas for now, but maybe I can do something more with that. I can show you what I mean when I say show you who I'm inspired by. One second, I'll try and find. Thank you. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by other things. Yeah, that basically I was trying to find. So let me find him. Why can't I find him now? Oh, I've put it in wrong. Is that why? Yeah. So the artists that I've got like a load of their work. Sort of I use as reference. So that's who I'm kind of. That's whose work kind of inspires me. Like really simple shapes, but really, really effective. Try and find some. Like that's a really nice piece. Like that's what I'm talking about, basically. Just. Yeah, it's such a good skill to have. Like if you're able to do really simple drawings but make them really effective. Like I might try something else here. Is that maybe too abstract, do you think? Dead Hand, welcome in, my friend. I was just showing Koob, who I'm kind of like, who my inspiration's been drawn from this evening. So there's a graffiti artist called DRMLZ. What's a good example? There, that was a good example. So really simple shapes to create his graffiti, and it's like really, really good. Like that's a more readable piece that he's done, so you can clearly see all the letters there. But there's some other ones like that. I think that is gorgeous. Like 2 colours, not including the white, obviously, but just so simple, and it looks so effective. What else can I find of his? That's a really good example of that. There, that's one of my favourites that he's done. I just think that's so good. That's such a good looking piece. It's so simple. And that's what I mean, like where I think was it last week? I thought maybe I could get away with abstracting it out a bit, but it's trying to find that right balance. Because that says DRMLZ, but it's like really far out with the abstraction. Like, and there's a few artists who do that. I think Dupe77's another one that I follow. I'll show you who I mean. But Dupe77's another one that I kind of use more for my other drawings as inspiration. I think they write it as Dupe though, not Dupe77. But just really simple shapes that just look so effective. Like with really bold backgrounds like that, I think is absolutely stunning, that piece. That's basically kind of what I'm looking at. So like that's the M, and I'm trying to so it's like, you see what I mean? I'm trying to kind of, it's not random, there is thought behind it. So like the thought process behind this one, for example, is, so this big chunk here is, say if I were to draw an M here, so that's like the, I suppose, the right hand side diagonal down, and this is kind of like a little podium, I suppose, for it to stand on. So like there's your M, and then that's up, and then that's the little, so this little triangle is this shape here is this big shape is this, and then that is that. So like when you draw an M, I suppose in normal 3D, if you like, or not 3D, but you know what I mean. So there's your normal M, and what I've done is I've broken this away, so that's now moved to the side over here. This chunk is now this chunk, this chunk is this chunk, and then this chunk is this chunk. So you see, that's kind of how I've tried to break it up. Can you see what I'm, so it's deliberate, it's not just a random throwing shapes together. Like I've deliberately cut that M up into 4 different shapes, and then you can see that's the intent anyway. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's what I'm trying to do with all the other letters, is break them up but still keep some sort of, like, it's difficult because like the pros, like I say, DRMLZ, Dupe 77, it was another one that's really good at it. Casty's really, is it Casty? No, Casty's not Casty. Canone. I don't know if it's Canone or Cam 1. I don't know how you pronounce it. They're really good at doing this as well. It's all one way. It reads as Canone, but I think it's meant to be Can 1, I think. So they're really good at doing this. Like there. Like, they've got more traditional pieces, but there, that's, you can kind of see it, look. And they've 3D'd their shapes out, their letters out and things like that. But these are like really good examples of what I'm trying, like there, that's a letter D and they've broken it up. So yeah, that's the method, I suppose, behind the madness. That's what I'm trying to go for, you know. Certain letters are really hard, like the B I find probably the hardest. Because there's, I suppose, so many, I say moving parts, but there's so many ways to break up that letter. And the way I try and do it, so like your traditional B is what, this? If I had to kind of do it. So there's kind of like your traditional B. But I try and do it in a way that's kind of like, almost like a backwards 3. So, like I say, it just about hangs on to the shape of a B. I mean, that's maybe a bit too out there, but it's basically, so because a B is just like it's just like the number 8 with a straight back line, and I think that can just make it a bit too chunky, if you know what I mean. But I'd say definitely the B is definitely the hardest. I would say there's just so many bits to that. So like this block here would probably represent I suppose, if I had to do a B, like say if I take my letter B from my logo, which is this, that line there is meant to cover this bottom bit. Oh, thank you. But this is the B is easily the letter I have to play about with the most. Ah. I don't want to put my dirty tissue on screen. Like when I do a B like this, it's okay because it works as one big block of a shape. But if I try and break it up, this, yeah, actually I didn't see that, well spotted because of that. I didn't even think of that. That's very well spotted, actually. Not as intended, but I'll take it. Uni, here he is. How's it going, man? I'm just doing a bit of a dive into my thought process. Oh, see, it's too big. But yeah, I'm just going through the thought process of my letters here. There was a B, in fact. I have just remembered a B that I did. I'll show you a B that I was talking about. Talking about it. I do remember a B that I did. I do, yeah, I'm going to come back to this. I do like that 3D intersections, I called them. Where's this B? I remember exactly what it looks like. No. There, that was it. That. So I'm not massively keen on that, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. Something in around that area. I think I did a Maybe a bigger version somewhere. Oh, excuse me. Or was that the? I thought I did another one somewhere. No, I think that was it. But that was the one I was thinking of. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Maybe if I start from the top. See, the problem is I'm thinking about. I can see clear. I can see clear at the end, but I don't know with the B. I'm just not. I can't really see it. Oh, excuse me. Now, could I get away with? Do you know what? If I do this, there you go. Right, okay, that's probably better. If I just do that as one big shape, but oh, love it, Coob, love it, love it, love it. But I'll have the B wider. It's a bit flabby, that. No, that doesn't work. See, that's kind of putting me off a little bit. But again, is that maybe too abstract? Let's have a look in Coob. Mate, that is sick. I love that red in it as well. That's very 80s, that. Like a tech noir feel. That is sick. Oh, I've really got to get myself an iPad. Every time you post a bit of work like that, I'll say it every single time. I've got to get myself an iPad. Yeah, I can't stop looking at that. That is so, so good. Yeah, very tech noir. Love it. Right, okay, so I kind of like that, almost as like a... Yeah, this bee's going to take a while to figure out, folks. I'll be here for a little bit. How can I do this? Because I'm always doing the bees like the... So I kind of always go for like the small top and the big sort of heavy bottom. It's like even in my little... So that's my little bee there. So the bottom half always kind of sticks out and is fatter than the top bit. So that's kind of what I've got in my head. Like if I did the same thing sort of here. Could I get away with doing this maybe? I could get away with that perhaps. Yeah, maybe to join them. I think because I really like that M, I'm trying to kind of do it around that. Or if I just did it instead of... Would that work if I kind of move that in a bit? So it's closer. And the way I'm looking at it, I think that looks a bit better. It looks a bit more funky. And the way I'm trying to keep this kind of symmetrical is, so like you can either do a diagonal like that, as in it's just directly down one dot, or two dots across. And then if you want to go even further, go even... So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Just trying to keep it consistent, but it's quite difficult. These are my favourite, kind of when I'm doing lettering, these are my favourite ones to sort of figure out and see what I want to do with. Sorry, keep. Go on, I'm all ears, Coob. Hit me with it. Sorry, it's because my music keeps stopping. I'm trying to fuck about with it. Hit me up. Hit me with this idea. If you want, you can draw it and send it to me via Instagram, if you want. No, I don't like that. Let's have a look at you. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I did think about that. Because I have done Bs like that before. Like, I think I've said before, like, was there an example over here? Like a B, if you do it like the number 3, where you kind of leave the back out and then sort of join them together. The risk of that is, because it's such a simple thing and it can often look good. So what Coob's basically said is to, let me just copy this down, is to join this up. The reason why I haven't is because stylistically it wouldn't be the same as the M. Because I think what I would have to do then with the M is maybe do this. That's what I'd have to do maybe. And I think what I've tried to do is, because I really like the sort of abstraction of that M, like I've made it just like when I explain it you can kind of see it. It's because I like that gap between these two shapes, and I've tried to keep it thematically the same with the B. So this is one of those ones where, a little bit like, was it the one I did last week? A little bit like this one, where readability wasn't the focus. It was just go nuts and see where you end up and see if you can kind of work backwards from it. As it turns out, I wasn't. I don't know what it is with this one, just to sort of as a side note. I absolutely love that. Like, I love that. And I think what I need to do with this is be braver and go 3D with it. I think that's what, basically mix this with this. There's a better example of that actually. Where is it? Where have I done it? Where you, I think everything but the M. Excuse me, I've just had a load. There. So, like, I really, really like this, where it's kind of stacked blocks, and I think if I mix this with with basically what I showed you earlier, then I think it could work. But yeah, with this one, because I definitely see what you're saying, because it looks, because you've joined it, it looks more as a B, but what I'm deliberately done is separate the shapes out. Like I did with the N, I've basically tried to take apart the letter. So say if it was like this, like I've removed the back completely, so that back line is gone. And what I've tried to do, because you've seen in some logos, like that can be interpreted as an E, not quite as a B, or the letter 3. I think for a B, like I said, it's closer to my B, this one here. And what I've tried to do is, I suppose if I say it like this, that's probably better. So this here is meant to be this. So that top bit is a right angle, but I've done it as a diagonal line down. And then this bigger right angle here is that. That's the idea behind it. And then it's just like a little stand to put it all on. That's the idea behind it. So, like I said, because I'm looking at DRMLZ's work, and his work's like really abstracted. I know I keep using the word abstract, it's annoying, I'm annoying myself, but I can't think of another word to describe it. That's kind of the angle I'm going for. So Like your bee that you sent to me is bang on. Because it's a you've turned it into a big chunky shape, which really works, and I really like that. But it's just sort of separating the letters out in a certain way. Like this one, maybe if I kind of put it, well no, because it wouldn't work, would it, because of the way I've slanted it. The A should be easier than the B. Famous last words. So that's a bit easier to see what I'm trying to do there. So this big line here is that one down there is there, and then obviously this little thing is the bit in the middle. Yeah, like I say, because when I see the pros, because I like working with basic shapes so much, I like interlocking them, detailing them, outlining them, fitting them together. That's just the way I really, really enjoy drawing. And a lot of graffiti artists I've seen, my favourite graffiti artists, kind of take what look like simple shapes and they're able to kind of make really, really sort of beautiful and brilliant pieces with it. And that's kind of where my inspiration's kind of coming from. And it's one of the reasons, this kind of graffiti, sort of DRMLZ's graffiti, him, Dupe, Can One, I think there's a couple of others. It's where does the line go from graffiti to not graffiti? That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Like, and they're the kind of artists that kind of made me think I'd like to do a video essay about art. Like, how do you categorize stuff like this? Like, is it even part? Like, do some people even categorize his work as graffiti? Why is his categorized as graffiti and maybe mine wouldn't be? Do you know what I mean? It's an interesting kind of concept. And that's kind of what I'd like to kind of explore more. Like with ours, a lot more difficult than I thought they would be. I'm getting maybe a bit basic bitch with my R's here. That A's a little bit basic, I might change that. Yeah, I might change that A. I'm not sure I like that. Because once I've got more practice with this kind of stuff, what I'm going to do is that old graffiti sketchbook that I started in, I'm going to start doing pieces in there. I don't know if I'm going to record them. I might just kind of do little snapshots and shorter, say 20-second videos, and then edit it all together as a big piece type thing. doesn't work. No. It's like the R, it would almost be an upside down B. Well, no, it wouldn't be an upside down B at all. What am I talking about? It's basically that without the bottom bit. So I've got to break this shape. So similar to the B, you've got the two. So what I'm thinking of doing for that one would be, so this almost would be on it. What I'm trying to do is basically break it down in that way. There's the 1, 2, 3, kind of like that. Because you see a lot of ours kind of do almost that, like a sci-fi type R. Like if I maybe reverse this somehow. No. Difficult again, maybe I need to change that part of the A. I'm not really sold on that. I can't really decide what to do. If I had to do that and then do. Does that work, perhaps? Sort of. Right, so I've got the basic thing. So this bit is this bit, and that bit is that bit. So, kind of. Could I get away with doing this? Like if I were to do that, I kind of like having the base of that R quite high. I don't mind it there. I mean, that kind of part of the A doubles as a back to the R, but I'm not sure that's how I want it to look. Let's start again. That A's, I'm not happy with the A. I've kind of basic bitched my way through that A, if I'm honest. I've kind of lazily done that. Could I flat top it? Keep that. Yeah, I think that's a bit better, chunking out the... I think it just gives me a better way to work with the R. So if I have... No, leave that. Don't want to work with any details just yet. I might come back and detail these another day, but let's get this... I'll get this one done, and then I might carry on with this next week or Sunday or whenever I get on next. I know, because I was going to do a scrapbook in session on Sunday, wasn't I? So if I have maybe. No, that's not going to work. I can't get this R. The R's are really difficult as well. I think whenever the sort of bends and the shapes are that way, they're difficult, but when they're this way, I find them easier. Like horizontal lines or horizontal shapes, I seem to find more difficult to kind of hash out than non-horizontals. Okay, where can I start with? See, that could almost be an R, but I think the direction of the shapes on this one, because there's no gap here, I think that's what kind of just about gets it to a B. Could I maybe... No. That's a bit better. We're getting there, but I'm not sure about that. I like that. No, that doesn't work. It's too much like a B. It needs to be back here, I think. See now, because I've got this shape on the other 3 letters, it seems wrong not to have it on this one. Could I get away with doing this? But then that's too much of a gap there. I might come back to that one. I'll try and... Or could I drop that A perhaps? And the fact that it's separate from everything else, like that seems to be the natural place where it should go. But then it's too, it doesn't connect. Yeah, no worries, Coop. Thank you so much for stopping in. Good work as well today on the piece that you did earlier. It looks quality. That's one of my favourite ones that you've done. It looks amazing. But you have a good night, Coob. Take care, my friend, and enjoy your show. Cheers, man. I hope to. I actually didn't think I'd be on this long, but I've really got stuck into this. I'm determined to make this work. I think I'm concentrating too much again on making it look like the actual word when the whole point was to be a bit more, again, I hate to use the word again, but a bit more abstract than normal, so maybe I need to stop. Like, I think that, like, in fact, I'm saying it now, I'm overruling everybody. I think that, no, it doesn't. It doesn't actually. Oh. What does it? In fact, I know what I'm going to do, because I did this on the M. I'm going rogue. I'm going to do that. Because because I wanted the flat top on that part of the R. So that bit's chunkier and this bit's flatter. I'm saying it, but can I, and in fact, to link it all up, can I now quite. No, that doesn't work. Did you know? So it's JMBR. That's right, isn't it? That's interesting. So Jambar could still be in like my art site, but as a tag. Do you know what, Dad? And you might be onto something, because I could maybe. I mean, already look at this. Possibly. Do you know what? That's a shout. That's a shout. Do you know, that's a fucking shout, Dead End. If I did, do you know what? If I decide to do it, and I make a really nice piece, you're getting the first one for free. That is a hell of a shout, you know, because yeah, because 6 letters, because they're normally about 4 or 5 letters, aren't they? And like I've got more space with each letter. Why didn't I think of that? I'm annoyed at myself I didn't think of that. Do you know what that's like? In fact, no, it's nothing like that. I was going to say like in the film Air, where the guy who makes the shoe comes up with the name, like Air Jordan. It's like, oh, Thingy Falk already said it. But I didn't say it. You said it. You gave me the idea. Oh, that is a fucking shout, that hand. I do really like. That's why I kept Jambar, because I just liked drawing that combination of letters. But for a graffiti tag, that just makes so much sense. I mean, DRMLZ's 5, that is such a shout. Let's give it a go down here. Let's give it a quick. If I were to just. Let's whip up something quick. Because yeah, I think I might have to do this. No, that's wrong. That's incorrect. So if we were to do this real quick, I'll get rid of that. Gives me more. It's annoying how much sense it makes. I'm not annoyed that you said it. I'm annoyed that I didn't say it, because it's such a good idea. more space to work. No, I don't like that. No, lower that. I mean, already, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. The only thing maybe is I really, really like, jump, oh, fuck off though. Where is it? Where have you gone? There. I really like that. I know I'm still clinging on to that. Let's just have a quick go just to see. Let's have a little, how much was it? 5, was it? Okay, let's try. Move it over a bit. Okay, I'll do. Do you know what the thing is? It's the thing that's getting me the most. It's the room that I'm giving myself to use the other letters with. Because especially in the other sketchbook, where like I was struggling to fit all the letters on the page type of thing. Yeah, let's just see how you look. And then what was it? Yeah, I actually love it. Not gonna lie. But the thing is, I really liked that A. I think that's, I'm clinging onto that maybe a bit much, but I might have to admit it, you know. I think it seems to be 4 letters. Seems to be like the sweet spot. Four or 5. So like let's just run through. Like there's very few that are 6. There's one called Boogie, who's 6, but the double O, I think. And then let's detail this in. I know this is a very rough version of this, but I mean, when you're right, you're right. 1000%. The first print I do, or the first original piece I do, one that I'm happy with, that I'm happy to start putting out there. First one is coming to you, Dead Hand, free of charge. Oh, it's just so easy. Like, oh, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Get rid of the A's. Get rid of them. Fuck them off. I mean, they look nice, but they could still look just as good. like they look, that's meh, but they look good as well. But again, they could work just as well. Right, let's try and finish this, and then what are we on, 103 minutes? Yeah, let's try and finish this, and then that should be enough. Did I finish my drink? No, I didn't. No. Yeah, I do actually quite like that chunkier top end. That appeals to me. Get rid of that B. And then the J. No, that's pathetic, that little piddly fucking... No, I'd have to lower that R, I think. Oh, I'm an idiot. Could I put the shape there and... No, still have it chunky-ish. something like that. Dead hand, you're a genius. Why did I not think of that? Does, 4 letters. I'm gonna read through all of them now. Why? I'm gonna read you all of the graffiti artists that I'm inspired by. Right, I'll read you all their names. Does, 4 letters. Drick, 5 letters. In fact, it was 4. I'm an idiot. 4 letters. So does, 4 letters. Drick, 4 letters. Dupe, 4 letters. Can 1 is 6, but I don't know if that's what he writes. Kesty, 5 letters. Knock, 5 letters. Legs, 4 letters. Lick, 3 letters. Medaya is the only 6-lettered ones. I'll show you his work. Medaya's, I think, works because I think the variation of the letters maybe. So I'll show you his. Medaya's work is absolutely insane, in my opinion. I mean, get a load of that. That's ridiculous, I think. What's another good one? I think if you've got an eye, like a lot of the 5s and the 6s have eyes. I think that kind of, because the eye's like minimum. Well, it's one singular thing, isn't it? So I think that's why you can possibly, I don't want to say get away with, that's the wrong phrase to use, but why it works, I think, with longer words, if there's an I in them, like what was the other one? Drick. Oh, that's not Drick, what was the other one? Kesty, 5 letters, but one of them's an I. I mean, Lick is just like L-I-K. Modia, that's 5 letters, but again, an I. Mr. Stack writes Stack, but again, 5 letters. Seek, 4 letters. Dime, 4 letters. Like, they're all 4 letters. DRMLZ is 5. But again, the L kind of takes a lot of the heat off it. I'm doing 2 A's, and I have to do the same letter differently. I mean, like, a lot of the time I'll try and mirror it, but it just seems like so much more work that doesn't need to be there. It's like, yeah, okay, right. I can see me going places with this, but yeah, no, thank you so much for that. Just that one little suggestion. Just take the A's out. J and B. It's the space I'm now giving myself to work. Like, I'll show you what I mean. So in the old... This was one of the big troubles I was having because I was giving myself such little space. In fact, it's better showed in the other one, actually. Show you what I'm talking about. Where is the other one? There. So, if you remember, I did these ones. Look how I've got to get the letters right up to the edge, which is why I've got to measure them out so much, because there's 6 letters. I mean, these don't really mean much because they're not readable, but I think as well, like that, they're very heavily overlapping. That one I really had to measure out. I spent ages figuring that out. I mean, it's fun trying to get the letters inside a certain space, but I do really think I've heavily limited myself. Like, that was the first idea of that. And that was the only one that really worked. I think maybe I was thinking about this because I really like this one. And I've thought, right, I can get the letters in there. I think that's maybe what I was thinking about. Like, that was another one that I did. But yeah, just... yeah, just 4 letters, just because you use the backgrounds as well. Like, who else am I thinking of here? Modia. So Modia, his best work. So one of the reasons his work's so good is the way that they use backgrounds. So like even when they've got like the simpler stuff, like again, an eye is within there. I mean, the eye thing could be just a coincidence, but I'm just thinking if you've got a letter as simple as that. But yeah, that's it. I mean, look at the backgrounds of that. They're absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that. And like the thing is, I use a lot of like does as a reference. And the one thing he does a lot of work with is just black and white and the way he positions his letters and stuff. And it's like, why don't I do that? Like with this book that I started, this was the graffiti book. Like, I don't particularly like these pieces at all. I've given myself no space to work with. I mean, that one's actually quite... I forgot I did that. That's quite nice, actually. Like, I do really like this a lot. But yeah, I just think giving myself that extra bit of room... Well, I've given myself... You've given me the idea to do that. So, yeah, I'm going to do that from now on. I'll just use the 4 letters. And just make them bigger, I think. But no, thank you so much for that suggestion, Dad. And I'm going to bug out on that note because it is 9 o'clock and I need the toilet. But I hope you enjoyed this little sort of faff about that I did. It was good hanging out with you guys, as always. I might try and... In fact, I'm not going to do a sketchbook drawing tomorrow. I need to figure out a better setup for that because it was so uncomfortable to draw. I'll probably do an A6, maybe a couple of A6 pieces tomorrow. I might even, if I've got time, I might even just do I'll do an A6 and then I'll do a scrapbook session. I'd really try and get the grayscale pieces kicking into gear. So I might do one tomorrow, I might do one Thursday, and I might do one Sunday. Or I could do another graffiti session on Thursday, or I'll figure it out. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'll definitely do an A6, I think, because I want to start doing those more as well. But no, thank you so much for stopping in, guys. Kubuni and Dadand. The regular riff raff, always good hanging out with you boys. Yeah, like I say, I'll definitely be popping on during the week. I'll try and sometimes I won't be available tomorrow morning or afternoon at all. But if I do go live, it'll always be around about between 5 and 6 p.m. UK time. So have a look out for the notifications that stick out. But yeah, I'll be on a lot more in the week. So hopefully see you there. But until then, have a good evening, and I'll catch you later.